there's a new movie now. Here, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
There's a movie that's out in theaters right now, and you may have heard of it. It's called Star Wars Solo Han movie. Or who gives a fuck? It's another Star Wars movie. Han Solo's in it. It said. Now here's the thing, Kyle. I saw this movie.
Yeah.
Did you see this movie?
No, I did not see
You
this
did not
movie.
see this movie?
No.
Oh my god. Well, that is.
I don't know why you're so surprised. We don't have to pretend to be surprised.
What a twist that was that I definitely didn't know about. Kyle.
We don't have to be surprised.
Since we've both seen the movie.
No, we haven't.
What did you
see
think the story was? Would you care to explain the plot to me, Kyle?
So,
for all of the viewers out there who haven't seen it yet,
just
also,
all right.
Let's put a hard spoiler alert on this.
just so you know, this was all planned. People who are listening, regardless of what knows about it,
this was not. Don't listen to him. This is just me and you again, audience. All right, I'm gonna bring him back in here. I just want you to know that I'm here to protect you.
So, all right. So this is my prediction of how Solo, a Star Wars movie, goes.
Plot synopsis. Go on.
All right. So it starts off.
Yeah.
No scroll, no nothing.
No scroll? You gotta tell me if you're a Skrull. It's like being a cop.
No, like there's no galaxy far away.
Scroll.
It goes through.
Scroll.
Oh, yeah. There's a scroll.
Oh, actually?
Yeah, scroll is a word.
Oh, yeah. It's Alien in Marvel.
No.
Tell me if you're a Skrull.
No. Scroll is a word.
I know.
But yeah, it is a scroll.
A text scroll, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
There's a thing where it's like, anyhow.
Listen, I'm savvy.
And so, yeah, so it's like
no text scroll.
None of that. It goes and it's just like it starts off, and it's like young Han and Chewie, and they're just like they're back. They're doing that thing where they're back to back, and they're just like in a forest, and they're being attacked from all sides. They're like pa-cha, 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 with their laser pistols, right?
And that's the sound they make.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, I'm so glad we killed him, Chewie, and then like they high five, but they do the Top Gun, like, whereas like they high five and this like, and then they hit on the bottom as well.
Oh, very nice.
Right, because they're best bros.
That makes sense.
Right, like right there, you get them when you're like they're best bros, right?
Well,
and then
it's really
what's this?
The bottom that cinches that.
As like, what's this? However, there was, I don't know what they're fighting. You never really see. It's all like shadows around them. Like I said, they're in a forest, right? You just see like beady little eyes, and it's like bang, right? Laser blaster hits Chewbacca right in the chest.
No.
Han's like, oh, you son of a bee, right? Because it's a Disney movie, they can't swear.
They would never.
So Han, bam, bam, shoots twice, kills whatever it was in like the bush, and he's like, Chewie, no. And so he because Han is a survivalist. He like makes like a sled. He puts Chewie on. He carries it through the woods, and he gets to a little house. And what's inside? He like he moves a book on a bookshelf. The bookshelf slides to the side, and Han just like drags Chewie inside where there's like a rebel base, right? Okay. In that rebel base, you know who he meets? Who? He meets Lando.
No.
Right? Played by Donald Glover.
Wow.
And so he's like Lando, help Chewie. He got shot, and we were ambushed. And it's like, oh, okay. And so like they bring him in, like Han's like in the room and everything, and as like and they're. What are the like robot? Was there ever a name for like the thing that like replaces Luke's hand? Was there like an auto surgeon or whatever?
Yeah, Metadroid.
Yeah, so it's like they're all those and they're like
it's like a medical unit.
Okay,
yeah.
They're working on Chewie, and then
giving him robot hands just everywhere.
and then Lando walks in. He's like, so what is it? And then the robot doctor, who for whatever reason is wearing one of those like the mouth protector things, despite being a robot and not breathing.
Well, you don't want to get him sick.
Yeah, and he like brings it down and says, "We have lost him," and it just like goes back up, and it's like, "Oh no!" And then right there, like, is it? Who's the lady who is? No, the lady who is like Mon
Mothra.
Yeah, or no,
Mon Mothma.
I don't know how to pronounce it. You know who I'm talking about, though.
Yeah,
the lady. That's her name?
Yes.
Are you fucking with me?
No, I'm 100% serious.
Okay. So,
this is your moment. I haven't seen this movie.
You have. You said in the beginning.
You're the only one who's seen this movie. You're giving the plot synopsis right now.
So she comes in, and she's like, what happened? He's like, he explains Chewie got shot, and he's dead, and then they're like, oh no. ever since the accident, Han has the emotional stability of an 8-year-old.
No.
He doesn't understand the concept of death.
Oh my god.
And which is now teasing the prequel, right? Right now, this is like the Han origin story. We're about to get the Han origin story.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Disney, they're like they still won't swear. However, they're like, we're gonna break the mold. There's gonna be death, and this is the first time there's gonna be an origin to an origin story.
Originception.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
And
notice how those words flow so
yeah,
nicely?
and so Lando goes, oh no, I forgot about that. And then he sees a Wookiee who's like standing guard in the story, and he points at me, he goes, you're the new Chewie. And he goes, what? He's like, shut your mouth. You're Chewie 2 now. You're Chewie. Chewie. You're now with Han. And so Chewie follows Han around, and then he's like, oh man. And then they're like, listen, we saved him, but it cost a lot. He's like, I don't have enough. And then Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
She's like, well, here's how you can pay us back. You're a good smuggler. You can smuggle stuff. And then they do the Kessel run, and he's like, and they're like, wow, that was so fast. He's like, yeah, it was. And then they give him the stuff, and then he comes back, and then they're like, oh well, I guess you paid off that debt. They high five, and then but like, and then they're like, oh man, Chewie, do you want to go and like hang out for like 20 some odd years and then go to a bar and shoot some dude? And he's like, and like Chewie's like looking around, he's like about to break it, and then Lando just puts his gun to the back of Chewie's back and goes, you're fucking Chewbacca, you have to do what Han says. And Chewie's like, and then I was like, yeah, and they high five, and then they go on to the Millennium Falcon.
That's pretty, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you here.
Also, on the way out, Lando looks at like Han or what, as just like, he's just like, here's looking at you, kid, and he throws a pair of dice, and it's one of those like slow motion where it's like, it like glides through, and everyone's like looking through, right? Like there's a baby with a single tear running down its face, but it's like an alien baby, and so it's like, you know,
it cries
diversity. Yeah, it's you know, it's got like gills that are also crying. It's
very
weird.
Nice.
And then like Han catches it and goes, finger guns. But like he doesn't just do the finger guns. He says finger guns.
Well, he's got the emotional capacity of an 8-year-old.
Yeah,
very
and so he then like puts them onto his ship, and like they fly away.
You know,
and then like credits roll.
You know what I think? Is it a credit scroll?
No, it's a roll this time.
No. You know what I think the best part about this is that it all sticks together. It's so tight, and that's the thing. Your plot is tight.
Yeah. Now hold on. Do you want to know what bonus prediction?
Oh,
this is what's gonna happen to the origin story of Solo. All right, buckle your buttholes in, because I'm gonna take you onto a wild ride.
Click.
So it takes us way back.
Yeah.
All right. Now you might remember,
like a long time ago.
Yes.
Very nice.
Now you might remember Boba Fett from. Is Boba Fett the older one, or is it Jango Fett's the older one? Which was the kid?
Well, what do you mean by the kid?
Like who was
there's purple and then there's green.
I don't remember the colors. It's been like literally.
All right, we're talking original trilogy or the fuck it, I can't say it.
It would have been
Tridge or
it would have been the prequels.
That's Jango Fett.
That's Jango Fett, who was the adult in that.
Yes.
One. Okay. Boba Fett was the kid.
Boba Fett's
okay. So Jango Fett, right? He's like. So it starts off now, and now you don't know. You don't know this is Jango Fett just yet, right?
Well,
right?
This is spoilers then. Jeez, man.
So they're just like driving a car. It's like a guy and a girl, right? And like there's a kid in the backseat. They're just driving a car, right? It's going so good, and then all of a sudden, right? They're like he gets distracted by something. It's just like bang, T-bone, space T-bone, flying car T-bone. All right, they go flying through. They hit like a advertisement for like space hair cream or something. I don't know.
No, space hair cream.
Right, it's like space Coca-Cola, because you gotta get that sweet ad revenue. And so right, they hit that. Right, they hit a building. It's like, oh no, right? Like and so it's like the father like climbs through the wreckage and he like saves his wife and then he like saves his son, but the son has like a dent in his head,
No.
right? And so they take it through. They take him into like the thing, and he's like, and it's just like, and the like the space doctor robot, and he's like, well, I can fix him, but he will have the mental capacity of an 8-year-old.
No.
For this. And then he's like, what is your son's name? He's like, Han. He's like, he's like, I have to go to find the cure. And then what happens? He becomes a bounty hunter. Originally, his name was like, I don't know. I'm sure they'll put like some random name. But yeah, and so it's like, then he takes up the name Jango Fett to become a bounty hunter. And then what happens is, as he's like hunting this like high priority criminal so he can get money to like restore his son's like emotional capacity, right? He looks down as like the planet gets blown up, but little does he know that they knew that the planet was going to blow up, so they sent like a capsule full of babies, right? And they sent it out. However, though, that capsule got blown up, and Han was the only one that went out, and because he was the only one, he was solo as they caught it onto a ship. Therefore, they were like, oh, his first name is Han. There was no last name, and so they're like, but he was the only one. He was flying solo. And then they were like, Han Solo, and they high-fived. Because
They did
like,
the whole best friend high-five,
yeah,
too.
yeah, and that's how he learned. And he just, like, he hung out on, like, the ship. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So,
You know what? Your timeline works better than the actual movie. Somehow. Thank you for that. You somehow made it more emotionally resonating than the actual movie again.
Alright, so... Please, now, pull back the curtains on this charade and explain what the Solo movie is.
Are you 100%... Were you making a joke there when you said he was flying solo, that's how he got his name?
Yes.
That is exactly how the movie goes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He shows up to this gate, he's like, hey, it's me, I'm Han, and I want to be a pilot, man. And then he's like, last name? He's like, I haven't got one, even though he's got a dad, so he has a last name, but he's just like, we had a fight, but he doesn't want to get into it too much, because, it's not like it's an origin story or anything. So he's just like, I don't have one. And they're like, Solo. Not like Smith. Solo. Like, I have to imagine this guard.
So what you're saying is my origin story makes more sense than their origin story.
It does, because what Imperial pilot? There's no way he's the only one with one name. Like Greedo, what is his last name?
Solo.
It's Solo now. Like the Solo family tree has got to be fucking expansive because there's so many one-name people. God. Like, Jabba the Hutt. He's a Hutt, but his first name's Jabba, so he's Jabba Solo.
Jabba Solo the Hutt.
It makes so much sense. It's perfect.
Jabba the Solo Hutt.
That's exactly right. This is going to be spoilers, because I don't give a fuck.
Well,
it's not. It's Solo. There's not like there's a huge amount of spoilers.
Well, he dies in episode 7.
Chewbacca dies immediately.
Yeah. So we got my prediction. I haven't seen it. To be honest, I'm not interested.
You did your best.
Do you want to just quickly give your general? Also, Emilia Clarke shows up at some point. Right. She plays young Mon Mothma.
Okay,
that's
right.
it. Yeah. And so yeah, do you want to just give a quick non-spoiler opinion, and then it could be like, this is the hard spoiler cut.
I don't think it's a good movie.
Okay.
It's, in my mind, very poorly written.
Mm-hmm.
All the dialogue seems like it takes all the dialogue from Marvel movies and just is like, what if we just put that in a blender and then just took all just scraps of the dialogues out and then we just put them into random sentences to see if it made sense. And that's kind of what happened. For example, what's your last name? I don't have one. Solo. There's no more to that. That's the whole transaction. I want to be a pilot. Solo. Cool. And then he is Solo, and he really commits to this Solo name that some dude gave him. Also, were you curious where he got his blaster?
No.
Well, you are now. Woody Harrelson gave it to him.
Ah.
That's it. He had a sniper rifle, and then he just
also
took the sniper rifle.
I'm assuming we're now getting into the spoiler part of this.
I mean, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really know if this movie. There's only one thing in this movie that's like a spoiler.
Here, well, do you want to be like...
I'm giving a hard spoiler
Yeah.
thing now. If you're interested in seeing the movie and you don't want to know more about it,
Stop now.
Stop now.
Or mute it, keep playing it,
and just look at the picture on the screen.
Yeah, and then
imagine what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then come back and listen to this start to finish again.
See how close you were.
Yeah.
Write it down, put it in the comments, and then re-listen to it later. And if you were right, you get a gold star. I will send you one, probably in a comment. So, yeah, so Han Solo, he's on this planet of Corellia with Kira, played by Emilia Clarke, pardon me, and he's working for an underground crime boss who's a giant worm puppet that looks like Elmo, but just covered in, like, it's like Elmo and Muck, the Pokemon, fucked, and this was the product. It's not pretty, and it's very clearly a puppet. Also, she's allergic to sunlight, so, you know, he, like, shoots open a hole, because he steals some coaxium, which is, like, super fuel for space things, which I'm pretty sure the only reason that hyperfuel is written into Solo was because they had to, like, kind of write in fuel for The Last Jedi, because that just threw in fuel all of a sudden, because seemingly that was never a problem for 7 or 8 movies, pardon me, and then all of a sudden it was a big problem, worst problem in the galaxy. There's a coaxium shortage, so now there's coaxium. So yeah, I forget her name, is like Proxima something or else.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, she's this worm, Elmo Muck. She's like, "How dare you try and steal from me?" And then he's like, "Oh, I've got a gun," and he shoots a hole in the sky, and then sunlight pours in. And I have to ask myself, why the fuck she thought that, you know, it's a great place to have, like, my lair right in the place where there's sunlight everywhere. Like, it's got one roof, but you'd think she'd be, like, way in there. Mm-hmm. There's no way sunlight's reaching that, but no, she's fine. She's like, oh, and then she starts to burn, and she's like, no! And she disappears, and then he's like, Emilia Clarke, we gotta go right now. We're gonna go, I have the coaxium, we're gonna go become the greatest, I'm gonna get a ship, we're gonna be Solo and Kira. And that goes, you know, wrong, because he's not with Kira in, you know, any of the other episodes, and no one's ever heard of her, so, you know, that doesn't last very long, because she gets caught at the gate after he says his name is Solo, or Han, but no last name, because he had a fight with his father that they never explain. Also, did you know that Han Solo speaks Wookiee now?
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, admittedly, in the other ones, he is like
he understands Wookiee, but he goes full on. Okay. I'm sorry.
So
I'm getting ahead of myself.
He speaks Wookiee.
Yes.
Oh,
I want
okay.
you see, and my favorite part about your origin story here was that Chewbacca was always in the picture. Chewbacca's not always in the picture in this movie. You meet him. Now, can you guess where you meet him?
I'm assuming you meet him when he goes past the gates, like...
No. You're close. Han Solo works for the Imperial fleet for 3 years and then gets thrown into a pit because he was maybe a traitor, because one person said he was a traitor, and they were like, knew it, and they throw, I'm not kidding, that's exactly how it goes, and they throw him in a pit, and then they're like, we ain't fed this beast in 3 days, he's gonna be hungry, and then Chewbacca comes out, and it turns out Chewbacca's been eating people in this hole, and then Han Solo's like, oh my god, I'm in a hole with a Chewbacca, oh my god, he's gonna eat me, and then he's like, wait, and then they form an escape plan because he speaks Chewbacca, and then he's like, sounds good, and they become best friends right there.
Wait, is his name Chewie because he chewed on people?
No, his name's Chewbacca, but you want to know why Han calls him Chewie? It's gonna be a real plot twist here for you. It's because his name is too long. He's like, what's your name? Chewbacca. That's too long. I'll call you Chewie. They needed to explain.
Is his name Chewbacca because he chewed on people?
That is exactly why. He's like, chew back. Chewing on that back of a man. It's about Chewbacca. Chewbacca's in a pit, Kyle. Just eating people. Mm-hmm. Who knows how long he's been down there? But he's been in there long enough that he's resorted to eating people. Mm-hmm. But not long enough that he's also open to the idea of, like, totally a fine conversation before murder. And then they get out of the cave, and you may be asking yourself, because I know you were, where did Han Solo get his blaster? And that's when he meets Woody Harrelson, who's playing Tobias Beckett, I think is his name. Now, Tobias Beckett, he's in this Imperial planet to steal a ship for some reason. You may be asking yourself, why is he going to steal a ship? It's because he needed a ship to go to another planet? I guess. Because they needed a planet. Not a planet. They needed a ship to steal more coaxium for Paul Bettany. Mm-hmm. You know, do you know about Paul Bettany? Yeah. Okay. I don't remember his name. In the movie. It really doesn't matter. Dryden Voss. I remember. Okay. It matters a lot now. Steals the ship, they go get the coaxium, and then, everyone dies. Except for Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Tobias Beckett. Mm-hmm. Also, we had a team of people that you kind of meet, and one of them is Tandy Newton.
Oh.
Yeah. She's in it. For a bit. Until she kills herself. On a bridge with bombs. Oh. Yeah. Because, that was necessary. And then, stuff happens. He's like, oh my god, what have you done? And then he grabs Han Solo by the cuffs of his vest, and he's like, listen to me, kid. You can't trust anyone. Don't trust anyone, Han Solo. Hey, Han Solo, look at me. Do not trust anyone, Mr. Solo. And he says, I won't trust anyone, man. And then he immediately goes and puts all of his trust in Kira, played by Emilia Clarke, and he puts all of his trust in Tobias Beckett. And that absolutely does not come back to bite him in the ass at all, because why would it? Moore does the Kessel Run thing. He does it in 12 parsecs, and they make it a unit of space instead of time. Which, I'm sorry to ruin your story. But yes, unfortunately, it is a unit of space, I know. But this is convenient. There's a big old alien in the Kessel Run who lives near a black hole. Now you may be asking yourself, what does a giant squid monster who lives near a black hole eat? I'm glad you asked. Nothing. It's just a big old squid monster by a black hole. And then the skin gets ripped off the squid monster, and they escape using coaxium, which they put in the engine, and it shuts it off for a second, and they go into the black hole, and then they shoot back out because coaxium has a delayed effect. And it takes some time to kick into gear, I guess. Then they meet Lando. Donald Glover was great. Like, he was great. Mm-hmm. He really does a great job of capturing, like, Billy D. Williams.
Oh, yeah?
I watched a clip of, I don't remember what it was. It was like Star Wars moments or something stupid. And yeah, just listening to Billy D. Williams talk, and then Donald Glover pretend to be Billy D. Williams. It's like, yeah, you know what? He does a real good job. And then, Tobias Beckett is like, I was evil the whole time. Tricked ya, gotcha. And then Emilia Clarke. Now, this was amazing. Because I'm pretty sure you and I would have been in the same boat had both of us been in the theater. Because Han Solo's like, he gets this coaxium back from the Kessel Run, and he's like, time to give this to Dryden Voss and get paid. Yep, me and my best friend Chewie gonna get all the money, and we're gonna go get a ship. And let me tell you something, he gets to the planet, and what's this? Pirates. They're there, and they're like, hey there, we're not actually pirates, and they take off their helmets, and it's a little girl. She's like, I've been an evil pirate the whole time, I killed all your friends, by the way. And he's like, oh, you killed my friends, but you're a little girl, so it's okay now, for no reason. And then she's like, by the way, we're calling ourselves the Rebel Alliance. Started by a 12-year-old girl in a pirate outfit who killed people for fun. Inexplicably, I guess. And then, so he's like, oh, well, I don't want to work for Dryden Voss if this is the good guys. So he's like, I'll stage a plan. And so he sets up a plan where he's like, I'm going to take the coaxium on the ship, but it's not actually going to be on the ship, but it actually is going to be on the ship. Haha, just a trick. And there's a gun in there. And then, yeah, Woody Harrelson gets up there. He's like, I've been evil the whole time. And then Kira turns around and is like, but I've been evil the whole time. And midway through this, I was really hoping that Han Solo was going to, like, reach over and grab his face. He's like, and I've been Chewbacca the whole time. And then Chewbacca would take off his mask and be like, I've been Chewbacca the whole time. That's really where I thought this was going to go. It did not go that way. It ended with two of the very much, like, I'm not kidding, it's like turning around and being like, wait a minute, kids, this is how it actually goes. It was painful to watch. And then Han Solo shoots first and kills Tobias later. And then Kira kills Paul Bettany, and she's like, oh, I'm the crime boss now. And then she abandons Han Solo because, he trusted her. And then this is the only thing that could possibly be considered a spoiler in this movie. Someone makes a guest appearance at the end.
Mm?
Yeah. I want you to guess. Now here, I'll set the scene for you. There's Kira. She's sitting on this evil ship. Mm-hmm. The one that Dryden Voss previously owned. And Dryden Voss worked for a guy. He worked for a big bad guy. And yeah, it's pretty much okay. That's all I'll give you. And then a hologram appears, and Kira has a conversation with said hologram. Do you know who it was?
I'm gonna say Count Dooku.
It was not Count Dooku, but because he died.
Oh.
Not actual, like the guy.
Oh,
he's
okay.
dead.
I was gonna be like, I mean,
he's not.
Way later.
He'd be dead in this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this movie takes place after Revenge of the Sith.
Mm.
I guess you didn't know that. This movie takes place after Revenge of the Sith, before Rogue One.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's gonna be a bad guy.
It is a bad guy.
Okay. Is it Sidious?
No, it's not. That's who I thought it was when they first started the hologram, because it's from behind, and they're wearing a cloak, and yeah, okay, you got two. Idea. It was Darth Maul.
Oh,
yeah, he makes an appearance, and for some reason, so the script, and it's truly incredible. The entire time, they never say who it is, because I'm pretty sure that even the writers didn't know who they were going to put in there. It's very clearly staged. Like she's like, "Hello, sir," and then he's like, "Hello, I'm Maul," and he addresses the fact that his name is Maul himself. I know that before there was talk of someone who was dressed up like Darth Vader, and supposedly it was going to be him, but then they scrapped that. So they could put Maul in, and writing is very clearly indicative of that fact. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna come to you. He's like, good. And then for no reason, he ignites his double-ended lightsaber and just stands there, and then puts it away again. I shit you not. He's like, come to me and join me. That's it. That's the whole thing. Also, he's got robot legs, but you can only kind of see them because he got cut in half.
Yeah.
Theoretically, he's supposed to be a component in either Solo 2 or Episode 9. Because it doesn't make any sense. Because let me tell you this timeline.
Well, because I know I forget if it's the books or whatever, but there was a thing of like he actually did survive falling through the tube and got like spider legs or whatever.
That's the animated shows.
Yeah, but now because I know when it was like Disney bought them, they cut out they was that part of the canon they cut out? Okay, and they were just like, we're just gonna
take it back in. But not spider legs this time, just people legs, because spider legs aren't cool. Oh yeah, they're too cool. I don't want them. We don't want to up the game too much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's just like they're like, that's a lot of CG money work, and it's probably just easier to have someone wear green pants.
I just really want spider legs.
Yeah. It would also be cool because it's like I imagine too that it would be like
that would be some interesting fucking choreography.
Well, because not only that, but it's like I imagine that they'd be spider legs, but it's like you could do like he would be able to stick to walls and stuff.
Yeah.
Could you imagine just they're like they hear steps and they turn around, no one's there, and then they look up and fucking Maul just drops from the sky. It's it ignites and he drops it just in a death spin.
Yes, exactly.
Fuck yes.
That's the Darth Maul I want to see.
It would be like a horror movie, but with Darth Maul.
Because remember in Phantom Menace when Obi-Wan did front flip over him, and then Maul just kind of turned around
and just
stood there while he went what and then he's like, oh no, and then he falls down and he says no.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's learned from his mistakes. Spider legs now. He's gonna be already on the roof. Yes, you get another Darth Vader kind of seat in the hallway, but also spider legs. Yeah. That sounds amazing. They don't do that though. They have just regular robot legs, and also he likes to just turn on his lightsaber for no reason. I forget. I've lost my train of thought. Maul's in it. Yeah, supposedly he could be the main bad guy in 9, or a bad guy in 9, a component, because there's they set up. Did you see The Last Jedi?
No. That was
That's right. Right. I'm sorry. I couldn't remember. Yeah, he's the main bad guy at the end of this.
I see. Okay.
Because little old Snooky Pants has chopped his heads off.
I know pretty much what happens.
I know you do.
haven't seen that.
So I get Kira goes off to work with Maul. Han Solo's alone on this planet, and he's like, I'm a good guy now. Also, he gave all the coaxium, which is millions of dollars, to the Rebel Alliance, so he self-funded the Rebel Alliance, and yet no one knows who he is.
Who their leader is then I guess I'm gonna work with Darth Maul?
No, that's a different girl.
Oh, okay.
That's the leader of the pirates.
Oh.
Is also the leader of the Rebel Alliance. Surprise.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't really make sense. But man, screw it. I ain't one to argue with it. I can't do that. I just had sex.
Oh.
That's the song I was referencing. It's okay. You'll get there one day. California.
So, anyhow.
Han Solo. So this movie takes place Revenge of the Sith. Now with your timeline that you so famously put to film in the mind, as some have said, how old would you say Han Solo is by A New Hope? In your script.
In
yes,
mine?
In your plot.
Oh no,
he's a little kid when he gets in that car accident with Jango Fett.
Yeah. I don't know. To be honest, it's been forever since I've seen it, so it's I don't quite remember how old Harrison Ford looked. But I'm gonna say mid-30s.
Cool. So
maybe 40.
According to Solo, because it takes place right after the Revenge of the Sith, he's already in his 20s.
Okay.
Which means by the time he gets to New Hope, he's in his late 40s, early 50s. Which means by Return of the Jedi, he's got to be 60.
Oh, yeah.
Which means
actually more.
Probably
than that,
more than that.
Because Kylo Ren
no. Return of the Jedi is 6.
Oh yeah.
Star Wars 7. Force Awakens. He's in his 90s in Force Awakens.
That was when I looked. I was like, yeah, okay. I got confused. Yes.
Leia is 18. In the Ridge Tridge. Leia's 18 years old. And that there's 45, 46-year-old Han Solo being like, I'd fuck that for $1 or something. I don't know what Han Solo does because his character is so different now. So yeah, timeline doesn't make any sense. Bad writing. Darth Maul's there, so maybe that's cool eventually, but it's not right now. Also, the dice make an appearance again. Are you familiar with the dice?
You've explained them to me, yeah. So
they're in Solo now, and in The Last Jedi, Ghost Luke, hands them to Princess Leia before he goes out to sacrifice himself for the greater good. And Leia looks at the dice and she's like, "There's an emotional way to this. These are Han's dice because they were on the ship because that's where he got them. These clearly mean something to Princess Leia. Where did he get them? Maybe some heroic journey of self-sacrifice where Han truly became who he was. Nope, some girl gave him to him, and it was Kira. Hey Leia, here's those dice that Han dated a girl before you, man. Isn't that something? See, I don't get it. If you liked The Last Jedi, and I didn't,
I haven't seen it. So.
I know you haven't.
I know, but they don't know I haven't.
That's a good point. Right.
This is
the first time. We're getting into this.
like I made a brief mention of it. Yes, I haven't seen the Last Jedi. It's on Netflix now, so
Oh, is it?
Or no, it's on Netflix at the end of June. That's right. So
Okay.
I might watch it then, just because it's so divisive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, it's like there's some good stuff, but there's more bad stuff than good stuff. The good stuff is really good. Like there's the fight scene in the throne room,
Yeah.
which is fantastically
And
done.
I watched that because they put it to I forget they put it to I think it was a Panic at the Disco song.
Really?
And it went really well.
Yeah, that whole scene is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, that's it.
Mm.
Yeah, everything else is no, because Snoke dies in that scene too, and that's really well done too. That is great. Everything else is this sucks. Like Casino Planet, I'm pretty sure there's a universal groan.
Yeah, everyone's like, the most I get, like, positive stuff I get from that is like Casino Planet was like good concept, bad delivery, like bad
the prequel
execution.
did hard.
Yeah,
It was like, what did we learn from the prequels? Well, they don't like garbage planets that don't go anywhere. It's a weirdly like
trade regulations.
it's all like trade regulations, political messages that like go really hard, and it's like if they just took a nail, put it on your forehead, and just they took one hammer, but one hammer wasn't enough, so they got a guy to hammer the hammer that's hammering the nail, and then they did that 14 times. Yeah, because slavery's bad, and so they let you know that a lot, and then Solo, if you like Last Jedi, all those parts that are kind of being like argued about, like, oh, the dice mean a lot more than that, or Luke's character does work this way because this and this and this, or Han Solo's character arc in 7 works really well because of the movie Solo that's going to come out that's going to really define him as a character. Yeah, it really doesn't, because Solo, the whole thing, his whole character arc is he trusts too much, and that's what lets him down. So obviously his character growth is going to be like he learns to trust in a good way. No, trusting someone killed him.
Yeah.
That's the end of 7. His whole arc is he just trusts too much. And it keeps letting him down. Maybe he'll learn one day. Nope, he died. The end. That's his whole character arc.
And once again, like, I feel like we're probably getting close to the end of this. But
Yeah.
My thing with Solo is, the first trailer was bad. I never watched another trailer. I'm just not all that, like, I like Star Wars. I was just not interested in Solo. But my biggest thing was just like, it's unnecessary. At no point was like he had some mystery, but it was never like at one point Han's like, I can't do that.
Because
and then Luke's like, why not? It's like, I can't get into it right now. And it's like it was never like,
let's just say there was an accident.
How did you get those scars? Oh, no, like it was never. It was like he had a few like, oh, here's some interesting backstory stuff. That's probably not enough to make a movie out of. Like, he was not a character that, like, I feel like we jumped right into like where he's already a developed character. It's like, nah, he kind of did, like, he didn't really change too much, but it was like, he wasn't a character that I'm like, I need to know more about him. I got what he had his arc from like the original trilogy to like 7, and that's good. I'm not like, I was not left wanting of like, but what about this about Solo? Like,
there's only 2 questions that really warranted a film, and that was, how did he meet Chewie? Kessel Run.
Yeah.
But even the Kessel Run in, I think it's episode 4, when he's bragging about the Kessel Run, he's like, holy crap, this is the ship that did the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. Or I think he said 15.
Yeah.
And he's like, 12. And then I think Leia made a snarky comment like, oh, 12, I'm like, whatever dream you're living in, because you're a liar. It's not in his character to be like, yeah, I'm proud of this accomplishment I did. It was kind of like he's bragging a bunch. I don't think that was ever meant to be like, this is a fact, like, this is an interesting part of his character. Who gives a fuck if he did this run in 12 parsecs? You establish the base character. He's a good pilot.
Yeah.
You don't need but how is he a good pilot? He's a good pilot because he's a good pilot. Who gives a shit?
I also doubt that there's like a whole thing of like, he's like learning to be a pilot from what I understand, Solo's like he already starts off as a good pilot.
He says, "I want to be a pilot," and they're like, "Good, you're going to train in the armed forces on the ground for 3 years." And he's like, "No," and then he does, and then he gets a plane, and he immediately is the world's greatest pilot, kind of like Rey in The Force Awakens, where she just picks up a car and it's just like phew 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 through stuff. They took all the stuff that would make the film interesting, and they botched all the stuff that's worth watching, except for the Castle Run. The Castle Run is genuinely shot really cool. Aside from, I don't know why it's really hard to see. The whole Castle Run is a cloud.
Like there's, it feels like all that stuff. Like once again, like I feel like it's not enough to base like an interesting movie on. That honestly would have been better. If, like here's the Star Wars compendium, and if you really like diehard fans, you really want to know, here you go. And then for people like me who I like it but I'm not super interested, one day I'll be like, I wonder about this, and I will look up on Wikipedia and I will know, and I'm fine. I don't need to spend 2.5 hours like watching.
Or make a Lando movie. like as soon as they hired Donald Glover, that was the only thing anyone wanted to talk about. Like, holy fuck, Donald Glover's playing Lando Calrissian. That's a perfect casting choice. And then he nailed it. You get a movie about Lando Calrissian, because there's much more character dynamic in Episode 5 between those two characters than any intrigue in Han Solo as a character.
Yeah, well, and we never got a Lando arc. Like, we got Han's arc where it's like, he's this character, and now he's this character. Like I said, there's nothing that's like, oh, how did he become this character? It was like, Lando, though, is like, he shows us up as like, wait, hold on a second, how did you get to, A, how do you know Han? B, how are you, like...
He's like the king of Cloud City.
Yeah, it's like, how are you in this position? This is, like, it's not like...
Where did you get those sweet capes?
Yeah, like, most people would be like, oh, Han's just a good pilot, that's how he became this pilot, like, alright, cool, whatever. That pretty much explains itself.
Yeah.
I don't need to know more. But it's like, it's kind of a bigger deal to become the king of this city. That's like a big deal. Also,
the fact, like, when introducing Lando, Han Solo, he's like, I'm just gonna call him Han.
Yeah.
Also, Lando calls him Han for some reason.
Yeah. Also, sorry to interrupt, but it's like Lando is also like a bridge. Like, he knows everyone. It's like, how does he know Han?
Yeah.
And Vader? Like, how does he know all these different? Like...
Well, and that's the intriguing thing, because Han's like, we're going to Cloud City. The only man I trust is there. And they show up, and immediately Lando betrays him. It's like, that's a dynamic I want to know more about. Tell me more. Why is Lando willing to sabotage him? But it's also a really long, like 12-step plan in order to get like Jabba the Hutt killed.
I would be fine with like 2 Lando movies. Like, you have like the origins, and then have like everything that goes on.
Lando and friends.
Yeah, it's like, and then the second one is just like Lando and like the original trilogy. Like, what did we not see? What are the behind the room deals of like was it just like Vader calls him up? He's like, "What's up? Oh yeah,
you up?"
like, yeah, that would be an interesting character that, you know.
Hey, it's me, Vades. How's my boy Calrissian doing?
Yeah, it's like, how does he even, like, how does he know who they are? Why are they like?
How does he get that outfit in 6 where he's dressed up as a Jabba guard? And how does he get that position? How does he do that?
Yeah,
I want to know more.
Yeah.